Hey, we've returned with Terra Invicta, going into part 2 of today's episode, and I think we're going to skip on over to Audrin, because Jordan has been the person who's done the least in this session so far. So what's Audrin up to?
I mean, what's different? Like,
That's not true. Not all the time,
He usually
anyway.
gets to make all the rolls.
That's true.
it's true. Yeah.
Actually, I feel like typically it's Deli because she didn't have any NPCs to talk to.
right. Especially this sort of episode. Yeah.
The only NPC she knew is.
Well, first, Audrin.
I know you're going to do some shopping, but
yeah. So first of all, our Audrin's kind of hyper focused on getting some of this to get his shopping done, to get his grocery shopping done. So first of all, I want to buy cards.
Okay. Playing cards.
Yep.
Okay.
I want to buy 10 decks. How much would that cost me?
I think the bigger question is, does the town of Farshore have just 10 decks for sale, right? Specifically.
Yeah.
How about you make a luck save first?
Okay, that's 1d20 plus.
Because you could, I'm sure there are at least 10 decks in the town, but they're all owned by people, right?
Owned by sailors.
Yeah.
1d20 plus proficiency?
Yeah.
5? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You managed to find 10 decks. I think maybe what we say is you go to whatever the shop is. I don't even know. Where is the shop? There's several different places where you would buy things. There's not really a general store. Let me see if I can find what makes the most sense for this. It might be the Last Coconut, honestly. It might be the
general store.
The tavern where you would buy that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that makes the most sense here. So let's just say, you walk in and maybe you see Vren leading away to Leandra or something. Maybe you don't know if you saw it or not, just so you're not interrupting that scene. But I think, you probably go up in town, talk to the tavern owner, and he just happens to be like, wow, I thought I was never going to be able to get rid of these things. I bought them the last time the ship was, a ship was here at Farshore, and no one wants the playing cards. Here you go.
Cool. So how much are those?
I don't know. Does D&D have playing cards as a...
I mean, it must, because there's playing cards can be one of your, schemes
it really
for if
would
you're a
not
cheater.
be very much money.
5 silver pieces.
So 50 silver?
Yeah, so 5 gold.
Okay. I give him 5 gold.
Very good.
Let me just add 10 decks of playing cards to my character sheet.
Okay.
Do
we see Audrin doing the fancy sorting techniques?
Are you gonna become Gambit?
Sort of.
Oh.
Let's just say that I leveled up and I got some new tricks.
Awesome. As long as you're not turning them into decks of many things.
The return of the Glad Hatter.
That's actually kind of.
Mm-hmm.
How do I just add a deck of playing cards? Is that just not an item I can just pop in? Whatever, I'll just write it in.
Yeah, it's not in the
playing card set.
A playing card set?
I just searched card and playing card set pops up.
Card. I was searching cards. Yeah, playing card set is what you're thinking.
Okay. Let me remove this deck of Ka.
I got some cars here.
Cars, get your cars. They go fast on the road. Anyway. So I wanted to do that. I also, bless you, would like to I want to start shopping around for various parts, various bits and pieces that I will construct my steel defender from.
Yes.
And I would also, that's the other thing. I need to buy a set of smithing tools.
Okay. Yep. I imagine that's probably in the compendium here as well. Let's take a look. Definitely just typed in stools on accident. That's not what we need.
You don't need to smith those.
I not see. Oh, smith's tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, not smithing tools, smith's tools. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's in there. Let's see if it says the cost. It does not. So I'll look it up.
Okay.
Smith's tools 5e cost. Smith's tools are 20 GP.
Okay, I'll do it. Are there any in Far Shore that I can buy?
Yeah, oh for sure.
Great. Then I will add those, and then I will go shopping around and try to find.
Yeah, all the little bits and bobs.
Yeah,
Is there like a, what does it say in the Steel Defender? What do you need?
it doesn't. It just says your tinkering. By 3rd level, your tinkering has borne you a faithful companion, a Steel Defender.
Yeah, so no cost there then. It's just like having access to the resources.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, so I think maybe we see a very kind of a little bit more of a lighthearted scene here, a little montage where we see Audrin going from place to place, and he's in his element, right? He's like talking and laughing with people and buying things, and see him whistling at one point.
You also see him getting clothing that is maybe
Oh, good. Finally.
Yeah.
No more naked Audrey.
Yeah. Keep going.
But going around buying a thing of clothing that to viewers, like in the scene, like it's one of those things that if you notice what the little pieces and bits and bobs he's buying, he'd be like, oh, those are the same clothes and little pieces that were on an NPC.
Which NPC? Or would you rather, how about we just describe the pieces of the outfit you're getting?
Yeah, so
Can you imagine how awkward that would be?
Takeway, I made you a new lyric.
Audrin has officially gone insane if that happens.
Listen, Audrin, I think you're great.
Yeah,
but...
Takeway walks into this room where Audrin's working on it, and he's like in the corner, like laughing to himself, like I've done it. And then he like turns around and he's like, "Isn't she beautiful?"
Look, I gave you your friend back. Yeah. I'm sorry I couldn't save her, but look, she's fixed now.
That would be so dark. I love it.
We're just talking about this in theory, and I'm so weirded out right now.
Yep. Man, now I need to push Audrin so he becomes that person. That would be awesome.
You've already pushed Audrin to a pretty dark place already.
All right, we got to keep going. Let's go.
Okay. So Audrin acquires those pieces, and before my thought is he probably, excuse me. Well, he probably spends the night working on this, or he spends the rest of the afternoon working on this, the rest of the day, and then in the late evening, he'll go to the chapel to do something else. And I do want to have that scene there, but he starts putting this all together, and we get a steel robotic, somewhat familiar resemblance to an old scribe, an old friend in a guild.
The suspense is killing me. Just tell us, Audrin.
It's Tavi.
Is it Tavi?
Yeah. It's like,
I still think Audrin has got a little bit of wackadoo, but
it's not like exactly Tavi, but it's like a similar.
Yeah, the resemblance is there. I like that. I think it should be subtle enough that anyone who pays, I think I'm gonna have like people make insight checks when they like see, or perception or something when they see this, to realize what you've done. But I think it should be subtle enough that like this isn't Audrin going off the deep end yet. But it could be innocuous, right? It could be just an innocent thing that Audrin has done to remember his friend by, but it also could lead into insanity.
It's definitely more just to pay homage to him.
Yeah.
Currently.
But I am so interested in the arc where this leads Audrin down. Like, okay, can you imagine? Wait. Let me
I
plot
already
this something.
have an arc. I already have a
Audrin-
thing, but go for it.
Audrin starts hearing the Steel Defender talk to him in Tabby's voice, and no one else hears it, and then he's slowly going insane.
He starts talking to it, calling it Tavi.
Yeah. Oh, that could be so good. We'll see what happens.
But the thing that I did kind of have planned is
Yeah.
Audrin wants to make a robot army.
A robot army?
Uh-huh.
How are you going to be doing this?
Well, you've watched Oral Knots.
That's your end goal.
Yeah. It's like
Okay,
after the
I was like
campaign. He
right
wants to-
now
No.
what you want to make.
No. But like Audrin,
We're not
basically-
going to the plateau. We're just sending our robot army.
Well, yeah, it's just like that. It's like I'm sick of the people I care about
Yeah.
dying. Simple solution: I'll build robots that can.
And then he turns all of them into robots, and then the singularity engine has begun.
Well, and
Look at me
so-
now, father!
whoever you are. It's. I just like.
Yes!
Sorry.
I'm just imagining the scene in my mind.
Carly
Oh.
is probably like, what the heck?
Oh.
I
Anyway.
father.
Anyway.
Yeah, I just imagine like because with some of the ideas we've had for next campaign, I just like the idea that some of that is unintentionally
Yeah.
sparked by Audrin's.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I've been
Ideas
planning
and
that for a while now,
actions.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
At least if Audrin survives.
Yeah, we'll see what
We'll see.
happens.
Cool, love it. Yeah, so we see that montage there.
Yeah.
And then you're seen with the chaplains probably later in the day. So
Yeah, it's like end of the night,
Mhm.
or like middle of the night kind of thing, like late.
takeaway, did you have somewhere you were gonna go after that? You're just trying to find Get, right?
Gonna go find Get.
Okay, yeah, okay. Then I have an idea then. So I think we follow Vren. We get to Vren first. Vren, you walk out of the last coconut, and you take a look at this.
Wait,
Like,
I already left the last coconut and dropped her off at her
She
room.
she stays in the last coconut.
Oh, we're
her-
changing that then? I told
That's
her-
that's how I was imagining the entire time. Like she
Well, no, because I told
has a
her
room.
I told her to go back. Oh, she has a room
she
in the last
stays
coconut.
in the last coconut. That's her where her
Oh.
suite room is. Yeah.
I missed that detail. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so
Um,
I leave the
You
place.
leave the tavern. Yep. And you're right out here, right? You're
Mhm.
next to the docks and stuff. And you just kind of start like looking around like, okay, what's this town like? And then you hear something. You hear something from one of the warehouses over like by number 2 there. And it's like bumping and crashing and something. There's like a tussle going on. No one else has seemed to have noticed it.
Well, I'll go that direction. Might as well.
Yeah, so you kind of like step over to the warehouse, and then maybe the door is one of the big doors that they would open to like push the cargo in is open a crack, and you maybe like peek in, and you see some sort of weird aberration looking creature, and it's being attacked by a birdman.
Is this
Um,
okay? Out of character knowledge, is this Git?
This is Git, and he's
Okay.
he's like fighting some monster in here. But it looks like it's not as serious as like an actual combat. It's like some sort of weird tussle where he's like shooting magic at it and keeps missing, and the thing keeps running around and not actually even really attacking
It's like
him.
trying to like range like
He's
it's
like
a
wrangling
pet
it,
that's out
yeah.
loose.
Yeah,
Trying to wrangle
exactly.
his pet.
And you hear him say a bunch of different things in different voices, right? He's like, get back here, you bugger, right? Like, and then suddenly he's a woman. He's like, now calm down. We can talk this out.
I would walk up to it and I would cast Charm Monster on it.
Nice. See if I can grab the...
It has to make a wisdom
To
saving
clarify, on it or on Git?
throw. On it.
Try to find a good stat block for it real quick. Mm-hmm.
What is the name of his race? Git's race?
Kinku.
Kinku.
Yeah.
If I had a Kinku, my character's name would be Harvey.
I don't get it.
I don't either, but I thought I'd laugh at it.
The only character I think named Harvey is from Batman. Okay, Jordan's about to grab something. Or pull
Good.
something up.
I'm glad that he's distracting us because I'm trying to desperately find something here.
It's an old cartoon that I'm sure none of you watched.
I have pulled up the group chat and I'm waiting.
Here we go. Wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Okay.
DC 20.
You got a 10.
Fails.
All right, so it's charmed. It's it has advantage though.
I'm not at
being you or your companions. I think
I'm not fighting it.
Yeah, but I think it counts in this case, right?
Okay.
So he still gets a
Still
10.
fails.
Yep. So he's charmed. Charmed creature is friendly to you. Yeah. So I think what happens, Vren, is you do this, right? You do the spell, and it like scurries over to you and like goes behind your legs, right? Like it's like, get me out of this situation.
Wait, how big is this thing?
So let me find a good description here. Okay, so it looks like how do I describe this? Okay, so it's like a weird looking blob monster thing that stands on one leg like it's a pogo stick and has like 4 other arms and a mouth in the center of its face and then a little head on top of its body. It's like a weird aberration looking creature, but it's like hopping around on one leg and like it's like it looks like a creature that you'd make in Spore. Right? It's where it's just like it doesn't look quite right. It has arms in places that are slightly out of place. One leg for some reason. But like hops over to you.
So probably what happens is as it's doing, Brand will cast a spell like, whoa, whoa there. And like you do with the horse, and it hops around him and it looks at Git after it hops behind him. It's like, what the devil is this?
And Git says, get out of that. And he points at the thing behind you.
I'm sorry, I don't what?
And then Git turns to like a box, like a crate in the warehouse that's like ripped open. And then he points back at the thing and he says, "Hey, you, get out of that."
Oh, it was in the box.
He nods.
And you want it back in the box?
He rolls his eyes, shakes his head. He says, "Get out of that." Like,
I'm sorry, I don't understand. I really don't understand what he's trying to say. Like me as a person.
He just shakes his head and he walks over to you and he says, "Can you tell your pet to go away?"
Oh, it's bothering you. This is not my pet. I was just trying to help.
Yeah, he sighs in someone else's voice and then just like makes shooing motions to the thing. Shoo, shoo.
He looks at it and Bryn's like utterly confused, like, what just happened? I don't have any way.
Yeah, real quick. Let me find. I need to probably update the sheet.
Thoughts. But like,
I know this character sheet of Gits is out of date, but I'm gonna real quick make an animal handling check. Oh, critical success.
Oh,
I get it. Yeah, this is kind of. It's not exactly an animal, but it kind of is what he's trying to do here.
Yeah.
And I think he manages to shoo it, and it just starts to hop away. And then as it gets out into the sunlight, Vren, it just like seems to vanish.
Okay. Do I have any idea what this thing is?
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check.
22.
Yeah, well, as soon as it does that, you think, oh, okay, it's an ethereal filter. It's like a weird aberration thing that hops between dimensions and tries to steal things, which is with its 4 arms. And so you could look at the box now and you're like, oh, it's trying to like steal something from the crates.
What was it called?
An ethereal filter. If anyone wants to Google that, it'll come up as the picture of what I described.
Ethereal filter. Oh, that is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, it was hard to describe it.
It kind of resembles a Chrono Cross monster.
Which one?
A couple of them.
Is my description of this looks like a creature you'd make in Spore accurate though?
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
Yes, but for some reason I was imagining like a lampshade with a face.
I was imagining like
It's
a green
not a-
blob.
It's not a yokai, Jordan.
When you said like it was a blob, I just had like the
Yeah,
stereotypical
I was thinking of its
Jell-O
face.
in
It's kind of like
mind.
saggy face
Yeah.
in mind when I said that.
I was thinking like flubber.
Yeah, I know.
I thought like the stereotypical Jell-O dish that's just like the springy things on top, and then my mind went to lampshade.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Give me a second. I'm
It
writing this
looks
down.
like it would be a ghost in Luigi's mansion.
Yeah.
It looks
don't
like
know.
it would be a champion at hugs.
I
if you're
I-
talking
it-
about
it-
pure efficiency and not comfort, yes.
at this point, Vern will kind of just shake it off like, I'm sorry, that was odd. I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Vren Royery. I'm with some of the adventurers that are staying here, I guess.
He says, "Don't worry, son. I know who you are."
Okay, can I roll like perception to see if he actually like knows who I am?
You can do insight, yeah.
Okay, insight, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely
What
seems
do I-
like he knows more than what he's talking. Like it's possible he's either knows someone about Madoc or the right. Like that would be your conclusion. Like maybe he's.
You speak with Madoc?
Well, he's not my favorite person, but we talk from time to time.
What has he told you?
He said.
You repeat something Madoc exactly said to him.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably what he's gonna do. I think he says. And it sounds like it's like a distant voice, like he just overheard this from a conversation Madoc was having with someone else, and he says, "That Vren Royery is going to cause me so much trouble."
You don't mind keeping that to yourself. I think that would be best.
Don't worry, love. I can keep a secret.
Good. Who? Because I know something probably about Kenku enough to know that like what's happening, like with his voices and everything, right?
How about you make a history check? See how much you know about Kenku.
Not much.
Not much.
All I know is like this guy seems to be repeating things very accurately in a way I'm familiar with, but not this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know all about like using other people's voices and stuff like that, but this is
Yep.
like strange.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I said keep that to yourself because I kind of keep a secret. He's like, well, good. What should I call you? What's your name?
Get out of that.
Can I roll insight to realize if that's
Sure,
he's
yeah.
saying that's his name?
Nope, you don't. You think he's just telling you to get out of that or something?
Okay, well,
Or to drop the subject.
Right.
Or, yeah. or drop the subject to realize, oh, this thing's trying to steal things. He thinks I'm going to try and steal things. And I was like, okay, well, I'll get out of your hair then. Brent's just like honestly confused of what the heck is going on. Like, good day to you.
He gives you a
And
little
he'll walk
salute.
away. And Vern will walk away.
Sounds good.
That was a very I am Groot kind of moment. wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
so Vren takes off, wanders around again, and then I think that's probably when Takewee shows up.
Shows up
and
right
like-
as I leave.
Yeah, pretty much, right? You're like
Dang,
looking around,
I'm
you're
looking
like,
for someone I know here.
if you want to, you can see Takewee if you like.
Would
Up to
it actually would we say that like just Takewee shows up as this is happening? I'm like, oh, thank goodness, someone I
Yeah,
recognize.
there
you go. Oh,
Hey,
Takewee.
she like does like an up nod.
He just says, please do not leave me with that woman ever again.
Leandra is a lovely, lovely woman.
I'm sure she is, but she's in love with death, I think.
Not
Alyssa's like,
surprised.
I know something about being in love with death, or at least the god of death.
My old character was.
Yeah. That's why I said Alyssa.
So yeah, Takewee would just say, well, just be nice to her. She's a good person.
I've tried.
By the way, Lavinia kindly asks that you keep your silliness to yourself while you're here on Far Shore.
How would he take that?
You hear Git from the warehouse say, because I think I'm imagining like Takewee stepped into the door, like the threshold of the door, and is like seeing everything, and we hear Git say, "Oh, busted!"
I'm not. What? I think maybe he'll just kind of laugh it off. Like, what could you possibly mean by that?
You know exactly what I mean by that.
You're right, but I need it spelled out explicitly, otherwise.
He's like, but I'm wondering if he would actually say it. He's like, yes, but some clarification could be nice. Like saying, please, like,
No pranks in this village.
come on.
We represent Lavinia, and Lavinia wants to be represented well.
Some people just. Fine.
Thank you. Git, it's good to see you.
Nice to see you, old chap.
Oh, and then at that point, like, oh, his name is. Oh, I was so confused.
It's a little confusing when you first meet him.
And he looks straight at you, Vran, and he says, "No, I just think you're a Git."
I think
This is
Takewee,
so
like for the
odd.
first time in like days, like cracks like a smile.
Well, at least you got some joy out of that.
Oh, I did. I did.
Wasn't talking to you, bird.
Hey, respect the bird. And
Sorry,
Takewee just
I've
says
had-
you can add that to your vocab.
Sorry, I
Git is nodding appreciatively. Respect the bird. Respect the bird.
He goes, sorry, I just had an unpleasant time at the bar.
Then why don't you go have another drink to wash that away?
He'll just kind of wander off, but not to the bar because he doesn't want to run into her again.
Mhm.
He doesn't want to risk running into blah, 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 whatever her name is.
Leandra.
Leandra.
Yeah, I mean, and you can push back on that and stay if you wanted to. That's just what Takewee would say. Because
He's
not a big fan of you.
annoyed that he was told no pranks.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's fine. I don't care.
So he's like he needs to find something to keep himself occupied because he's confused and he's a little bored.
Speaking
Yeah,
from
so-
experience, Seth.
So Takewee will just kind of, walk over to get a little closer and just be like, what news do you bring from your adventures?
Yeah, he says in a voice, a feminine voice that sounds familiar to you, but you don't immediately place it. You hear, Are you sure I have to be dragged into this stupid escapade? There are so many demons up on that plateau.
Can I make a history check to see if I recognize the voice?
It probably just perception.
Perception? Okay. Okay, well, I've got to get one of that, so, okay, 20.
Yep. Yeah, it's Lethira's voice, that like fallen angel that you met way back when in the island.
Okay, yeah. That's it was that or the woman from the Blood Sisters, but that didn't make any sense to me. So
I was gonna guess Sayori.
no,
That would have been a plot twist.
that would have been interesting. Yeah. No, so he just says, "Oh, so you talked to the fallen angel."
And he says in another masculine voice that sounds familiar to you. He said it's like a deep, grumbly voice. He says, "So you've brought us all together, little bird. What now?" And he like points out into the jungle.
You've gathered allies for us.
He nods.
What a clever bird you are.
He like points at you. He's like, "What a clever bird I am." And he like thinks about it. He's like, he points at you again.
What a clever bird I am.
Just like little fist, like, "Thank you."
Yeah, now Takeway's like smiling. She's like, I missed you, Git.
I missed me too.
So where are allies gathered?
And he says in another voice that you're familiar with, sounds kind of like high and squirrely. It says, "Please tell us when the great adventurers will be here. We so look forward to meeting them again."
Just where we were gonna go.
Wow, that's a huge elemental.
Okay. Wow. Thank you, Git. Seems like you've had more success than us.
Success is my middle name. I've been waiting to use that one.
I wish I could say that we had better luck.
Yeah, and his demeanor kind of shifts. He kind of slumps a little bit. And he says in Mikhail's voice, "I wish I could have done more. It was such bad timing."
So you know then.
"Give a message to Takeway when you see her, please," he continues to say in Mikhail's voice. The
Takeway
Igbaye
like holds her breath.
braces herself, yeah. The Igbaye pantheon was locked in the cerulean curtain for 1,000 years. When they were released, things changed. Some of us grew stronger. Other aspects were unlocked. There are not too many old gods left anymore. Change is coming. And that's all he says for now, but he waits for like questions or whatever.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Did you have that written down? Could you say that one more time?
I did not have it written down, but basically the gist was, let's see here. The note I have down in my notes here is, with the final passing of the Igbaye pantheon, the new gods have learned much. Miggy managed to interrogate them partially as they left, and this will be stuff that he adds to, more to what I just said. And some of the new gods' power has been increased, partially because, like, for example, there's like Njoku-ji, the god of fire, and Oguta, the god of water. Like anyone like Esh and Maya, since they have those aspects, their powers increased because now they have more of it, right? Because the ghost of this god was stuck. Those gods were stuck in that curtain for a long time, and so as they were passing, Mickey asked,
that curtain that we
Remember when you destroyed the artifact? There
Right.
was like
Right.
a yell in your head, and
Right.
yeah, mhm.
Yeah.
They said like the Pantheon said we're free, or we finally passed, or something like that. Can't remember exactly, but
Uh-huh.
and basically he says like things were kind of going crazy then. People were getting powers, aspects were being unlocked. Ones that we didn't think were available necessarily. That can now be a new god could be slotted in there if we find someone worthy. And so he basically that was
God.
one of the reasons that Esh was able to give you so much power there was because of that
Okay.
thing. But then it like the kind of initial burst of it faded. That made him really strong. And then after that, there was like this weird kind of darkness, like this moment of just like silence among the Pantheon where they like lost contact with their followers for a moment. And he was not sure exactly what happened there, but like weird cosmological shifting happened in the cosmos, and with the death of that, with the final passing of those gods. And he's basically just like, I'm sorry, I wish I could have done more. Like that was a weird time, and like we were not able to do what we would usually be able to
Right.
do.
Well, and so I think Takewee says, like, that makes a lot of sense considering I think we may have just unlocked a greater evil down below. Makes sense. We released one evil and awakened another.
Yeah, Git nods and then says again in Mikhail's voice, I always knew there were pockets of devourers left. There was no way that what we did got them all. But this is, well, if they start building here again, they could start connecting our universe to theirs again. This is very dangerous.
So what do we do about it?
And then Git does whatever the bird equivalent of smiling is, right? That you've probably come to expect from him. And he says, I have a theory. And then I'm not going to like go out, try to do sound clips for this entire
Right.
thing, but
Right.
he basically tries to explain to you in some sound clips or in some sound bites. Something
He
that
can always write in his journal to me.
That's
you
true.
know?
Yeah, he probably can do that too. Well, he took you out of his journal because you did.
He could put me back in.
No, did he? Okay, good.
No, I said he could put me back in.
Oh,
if
yeah,
he
yeah,
wanted to, you know.
That's true. That's true.
Be regraced with the journal, you know.
I'll let Josh make that call.
Okay.
But he gives you information on something that he had hinted at before. Remember, he said something like this island is not in the right place or something like that. Something's wrong, like not here or something like that. He explains in a little bit more detail and using some of sound clips from that same grumbly voice that you heard before that I think you put together. It's that one elemental guy that you met below the temple. Yeah.
Right.
And then some from Lethera as well that he gives you, kind of putting the pieces together on this. And he basically, his theory is, the first piece of it is, this place was the capital of a large empire. There's no way that it was here. This is not a place to rule an empire from. Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. He thinks that something happened to move it here, and keep it hidden in this fog/mist or whatever that surrounds the island, and that there's a way to put it back where it's supposed to, where it's supposed to be. And it's not necessarily that, like, part of the solution, he thinks, partly it's just a good thing, he thinks, like to get it closer to where the Igbaye Empire actually was. That helps Lavinia tremendously, but also it could sever whatever connection this place has to the Devourer,
like the Underdark
thing. Yeah, exactly. He's not entirely sure on that, but it seems like a good bet. Because he thinks that the reason it got moved here in the first place is because of that war that they had with those Devourers below them, way back when, the Igbaye. And there's still some peace in the city, in the central city, like the capital above the plateau, or on the plateau, that will let them turn it back.
Interesting.
So he basically says,
that would explain why the other demons want to keep that place so heavily guarded.
Yeah.
Okay. And Takewee kind of like nods, and she's like, I think that's the best news I've heard all day.
And Get like seems proud of himself, puts his hands on his hips, and he says, "Don't I have good ideas? Tell me, I have good ideas."
I've added too much to your vocabulary today.
He shrugs.
Thank you, Git.
Of course. And then I think at that point, a flaming yam appears around the corner and floats into the warehouse, and it's Jack, the Yama-lantern from way back when. And
Aw, the Yama-lantern.
And the Jack says, "Okay, boss, I got everything situated. We should be able to head out to the central plateau whenever you." "Oh, hi there. Nice to see you again." He looks at you. Starts to inch his way back towards Get. "I hope you're in good health."
Thanks. And she kind of just like looks at Git. Just says, "Let me know if you need me to straighten this one out."
He laughs in someone else's voice, and Jack says, "Oh, no, straightening out needed here. I'm as straight as it gets. Straight as a line, I tell you." And he turns back to Get and says, "Sir." Oh, I looked up the pronunciation of this word. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. He says, "Sarotany is waiting for you."
Who?
You just Takewee say that?
Yeah.
And Jack looks at Get, and Get says, "The phoenix is a noble creature." Yeah, she has a name now.
That's okay. That's
Or
great.
he. I don't remember what the gender of the phoenix was. I'll have to ask Josh.
I don't know.
Or if they even have genders, it's an elemental thing. But yeah, so basically, like you're not entirely sure what Jack was doing here, but he says like everything's ready, we can go now.
So you're not going to come with us to the plateau?
Git says, "I couldn't trust you. Of course I'm coming."
Okay.
You always get into so much trouble.
It's true. We're holding a funeral for Conrad, Lirith, and Tavi before we go. But after that, we will leave here shortly.
Rest in peace.
Thank you. I think I'm going to go be alone for a little while, if that's okay.
He nods. And Jack says, "Nice seeing you. I hope the kids are okay." She doesn't have kids, does she? Then you're walking away.
Takewee just like kind of does that, like the little like eye like look, narrows her eyes, and then just like walks away.
She scares me.
As I should.
So Anna, you're standing in front of a door, or sorry, you went back to Vincent.
I immediately went back to Vincent once I passed my wisdom save.
I think we see the door again. You guys are just walking back towards it, right?
Okay.
And there's a moment. Vincent stops, looks, sees the door. It's not like invisible to him or anything. He sees it, and he turns to you and he says, "Yeah, that's a door to Sigil, all right. This only means one thing, Anna. This means that the Lady of Pain is calling you specifically."
Am I supposed to answer?
He looks at you and he just he's like, "Honestly, Anna, I'm not sure which is more dangerous at this point.
Like, I
subjecting
don't
yourself.
want to ignore her. I feel like that
Yeah.
would be bad. Okay, well, does this seem like it's like a single person invitation? Do you think I would get a +1? Probably single person, right?
Yeah, he says, even if you do get a +1, I'm not going to be invited.
Okay, okay.
What about Benedict?
Vincent looks at you.
poorly.
Vincent looks at you, and Anna, you can tell that there's something because he apparently went to Sigil, right? Like some
Yeah.
reason why he's like either
Right,
can't
there's
or
something
won't to go
bad.
back.
Yeah. So I guess I kind of look at him and I go, so I guess I should go. I just didn't want to go without telling anyone if I didn't want
He-
it to seem like I was just running off.
He's smiling wider and wider, and he just says, Anna, I trust you.
Okay.
Talk to the Lady of Pain.
Okay. Do you think I'm sure the Lady of Pain has lots of power. She'd be able to get me back here before tomorrow for the funerals.
And yeah, and Anna, as you're speaking, the door starts to like disintegrate.
Okay, I gotta go.
And you just run in.
And I just kind of look back at Vincent and I'm like, if I don't come back, you know where to find me.
Yeah, and he, as you go into the door and close it, the last thing you hear is, "That's the problem, Anna. I won't." That's what Sigil's all about.
Well, he knows where I went, at least.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, yes. I you know what? Instead, he'll say it a different way. He says, "Anna, Sigil is the city of doors. When you go in one, who knows where you're going to end up?"
Like a fun mini game in Mario Party.
Yeah. You muted, Seth.
I was thinking more like the place in Narnia, the pools.
Mm-mm. All right, so Anna, you jump out into whatever is awaiting for you beyond the door, and you're suddenly in it looks kind of like it's a city that folds over itself. Right? You're in a city, you're on a staircase, like a staircase that kind of goes down for a bit and then pivots and goes to the right and then goes to the left and then goes to the left again, or right. It's just kind of slowly going down in different direction into this cityscape. And before you see like a very intense medieval cityscape, very full. And then the horizon dips and folds, and above you, there's still more cityscape, and then it folds back behind you as well. It's like you're in a tube or something of city.
Sounds like
And,
Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
I
very
immediately
Doctor
look
Strange.
behind me and see if the door is like still there.
The door is there, but there's a building behind you. And when I think when you stepped out, the door kind of like swung back naturally. And if you open it again, it's just like the inside of a building, right? It's like the entryway of like someone's apartment, it looks like. Or like an apartment complex or something.
Okay. I kind of just like do a look around to see if there's a little sign that says Lady of Pain this way.
I think you look around for a moment and then you notice that there's like someone behind you.
I'm kind of like, if I was beckoned here, I feel like somebody will find me.
Yep. And you feel like a presence, like someone's watching you, someone's behind you. You turn and you see a Japanese elf man in a wizard's robe. And he says, "Oh, you're pretty cute."
Thank you.
This way. And he
Thank
he
you.
turns, he turns, and before you were kind of standing, I guess I'm trying to think of the way this works. I don't think it's like the city changes necessarily. The city itself changes. I think the doors can change where they lead, but the city structure itself is kind of like stable. So I was going to just say a staircase was there when it wasn't before, but I don't think I want to go that far. I think there's a staircase to your right that leads up, to the right of the door that you came out of. and he just like starts walking up that way.
I follow him.
Yeah, it starts wrapping around the like apartment complex that you were next to, and as you walk, he says, "My name is Ronan. It's not really a proper name, more of a title, but I like it."
Nice to meet you, Ronan.
He nods. So you're getting wrapped up into all this too, huh?
I guess so. I don't really feel like I have enough information to say if I'm wrapped up yet.
Yeah. He smiles and he says, "Don't worry, you'll like the Lady of Pain. Well, at least I do."
I don't really know if that's comforting or not.
I'm not sure either. I'm not sure. I don't really know what you would think of me yet. And he keeps walking. And eventually it kind of wraps around the apartment complex, and he gets to a random apartment door, it looks like. And he just says, "This way," opens the door. And suddenly, like, the door opens out into a walkway, like a very extravagant, like, city bridge walkway type thing. There's like a garden on the sides, kind of like it's basically a landscaped area, kind of like I'm trying to think like what to describe this as, like a median in between two like streets or whatever. There's that sort of area of various medians and stuff that are landscaped, and there's like a path that's going down this like big bridge. You look below you and it kind of drops into foggy nothingness. You see a couple of towers poking out of it, and ahead of you there's a giant tower, and this tower seems to be it has a weird shape to it. And then as you kind of like look around, you realize that there are like these kind of weird bridges extending out from the spire, and like kind of surrounding it at maybe the same level as you. Maybe there's a couple above or a couple below, but they're pretty even with each other. And you realize the tower is less a tower and more like an axle. It's like the center, the hub of a wheel rather. And these like bridges are kind of like the spokes poking out. And as you start to look around the city, you realize that that's kind of what all this structure is actually eventually leading to, is like this kind of giant wheel structure. It kind of pivots and is random sometimes, but if you got a bird's eye view, you think that's what it would look like. And you walk closer to the tower, and I think you get to the big double doors. Ronan kind of just like waves his hand like he's using the force, and the thing kind of opens of its own volition. And in this giant foyer, there's a big glowing orb that kind of functions where you think a chandelier. It's a glowing orb that kind of is like, it's like the magic version of a chandelier, right? It's just kind of floating up near the ceiling, giving light to everything in like a shimmering, dazzling dance. But there's nothing holding it there. There's not individual candles. It's just like this weird, it's like a disco ball almost, right?
I was about to say, it sounds more
Yeah,
like
it's
a
kind of
disco
lighting
ball.
things. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm a fan.
Yeah, not an orb, a disco ball.
Very different things.
And you see-
people have mislabeled me. I'm not the Lady of Pain. I'm the Lady of Spin
Dance.
without the A.
Oh, I see.
You spin. Wee.
You see a staircase, like a white marble staircase that kind of goes up, and it has all the vibe of like, in any movie or whatever where you have like a really rich person's or like an aristocrat's house, the stair that like a noble woman would descend down, and everyone would be able to look at her.
staircase,
Yeah,
like-
that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So everyone be able to see the giant shimmering dress or whatever she's wearing. And that's what you basically see. You see this woman who's wearing I think a gray dress. And it's somehow not boring, even though it's like gray. And she is wearing a mask that is, similar to the mask you've seen, right? Like the kind of, it has calligraphy or carvings of needles, basically, all pointing inward at her eyes and her mouth and stuff. But she looks very beautiful. She has like dark hair. And she descends, and Ronan is waiting there patiently, and Lady of Pain kind of walks up to him and puts a hand on his cheek, kind of gives it a little pat, and then says, "Thank you, Ronan. That'll be all. Go ahead and touch. How would she say this? Speak with Damien about the next portion of the plan." And Ronan nods and then teleports away.
Wait, Damien.
Mm-hmm.
Did I meet a Damien at like the very beginning?
You did meet a Damien, but I will let you figure out who
I'm like,
who that is.
that name sounds
Is
so
that-
familiar. I met didn't he live with like Nestor in that like place? You can't get things by me, Caleb. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Okay.
That's him. At the very least, Anna knows that's the same name. I don't know if she would automatically. She doesn't necessarily know she's in a story, so. But yeah, then the Lady of Pain turns to you and then says, "I'm sorry about the wait, the delay. I like people who visit me to get to see the place before they have any words with me."
I'm just kind of like looking down and like I probably curtsied as she descended, and I'm still in a curtsy unless she
Yeah.
tells me I'm good to get up.
"Rise, child."
Okay, I get up.
That sounds like something I would hear on a really like cliche Christian mug that just says "Rise, Child" and has a cross with like a sun. Rise, child.
Yeah, so she says, "Tell me, what do you know of the Lady of Pain?"
Mostly from. I don't really have a lot of information directly from the Blood Sisters. I only have heard from one member about the existence even. Most of
That's-
what I know is
It's nice to know that all it's nice to know that all of my secrets haven't gotten out.
no, I just know that you're our patron and you kind of guide us but not micromanage.
I'm definitely not a micromanager.
Um
See, the thing
that
about the
you're
City of Doors, the thing about the City of Doors, Anna, is that is a place where anything can happen, where any door can lead anywhere. That means freedom is the most important virtue here, and freedom is what I offer to any who call upon me.
Are you offering me freedom?
I provide opportunity, Anna.
This
You
is where the
are.
timeshare talk comes in.
I
I've got a
am.
condo on Far Shore.
She says, I'm trying to think of some way to give you a spiel as if she's part of an MLM, but I can't think of anything clever.
See, if you sell somebody one door, then they walk through it and sell two people doors. You get commission every time.
I'm
that
actually
one
just a
person
door
walks through a
salesman.
door. Or those other two people walk
It's
through
a door to
doors.
door salesman.
Door to door to door to door to door salesman. Yeah, so she says, I provide opportunity, Anna. I heard your conversation with Vincent and figured that I wasn't going to let things lie there for too long before I called and brought you in on something. I have servants that are interested in the Isle of Dread right now. I want you to help those servants get what they need.
Okay, that's an opportunity, you say, has been offered. Can I May I ask some questions?
Of course.
Uh,
The door is
who
open
are-
to you, child.
Okay. Who are those people who are interested? Am I allowed to know?
You met one of them already. Ronan and Damien and a man named Henry.
Okay. What do they want what part of the Isle of Dread are they interested in?
The plateau, which is why I thought this would be the time to call.
Okay, but like for what? Because from what I know, the plateau is not a good place, and there's lots of demonic activity that we're just trying to clear out.
I've promised each of those men something specific from the plateau, but the thing that I require of them and you is a weapon. There is a weapon at the plateau that will make the difference in a very important conflict, and I need it. And I need you specifically to get it for me.
Okay, so
My
if
servants have
you
tried and failed before, but this assault of yours that you're planning is the perfect opportunity to get something done that has been needed to be done for a long time.
But it has a very low drop rate. I need you to grind this one enemy at this location. It would take like
There's
5 hours.
there's a 1% chance it drops this weapon.
okay, um, who are you going to use this weapon against?
The thing about freedom, Anna, is that all of us have it, and I have the freedom to not answer that question if I so wish. But let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Dang it!
She says, if I told you who I was using it against, would that make a difference?
Possibly.
What if I told you some very bad people?
Well, that would make it seem like I should take you up on the offer, but bad is quite subjective.
The orphanage. I'm blowing up the orphanage.
She says, you're learning already, Anna. If every door is open, then... And she says, I need to use this weapon against my sisters.
Your sisters?
I have a feeling you understand sisterhood. Do you not?
I mean, kind of, but I've never tried to find a weapon to destroy my sisters.
I provide freedom. My sisters like to take it away. I think it's time that they are taught a lesson. Let me assure you, Anna.
Sisters are.
Let me assure you, Anna, that this quest of mine is not going to be how should you say this? It will not hinder your task. In some ways, it might even help it.
Okay. So I'm assuming this is the weapon that we've heard about that Nolan has. Like, well, of course, it's going to be the same weapon, artifact, whatever thing. Obviously. Okay, so if I get this weapon for you to use in this conflict against your sisters, who you say are bad and are oppressing people in a way that at least you find oppressive, do the three guys like then not have any more vested interest in Isle of Dread?
Very true. Yes. After this mission, they will be moving to other horizons.
So it's only the weapon they care about.
Not only the weapon, I've promised them each something specific, but the weapon is what I am requiring from all of you. Obviously, you're going there to defeat the demons. Henry is going there to figure out something about his bloodline. Damien simply wants more. Simply wants information against those he seeks revenge against.
And Ronan?
I think he just. I think he's just hoping there'll be some other magic item that will be useful to him. He's a collector of sorts.
And me?
You're already
If you-
going, sweetheart.
Right, but I'm just saying, you've promised people specific things.
Very good. Anna, what door would you like opened to you?
The door to being your boss.
I want your job.
I would like to climb the corporate ladder, please.
I would like to become your new sister.
When your old sisters are gone, you might need some new ones.
Wow, nobody's kind of really ever offered me that kind of thing before. So I'd have to think about what I wanted.
Take all the time you need.
Um, will you tell me any more information about your sisters?
Make a persuasion check.
$17. Okay, wait. Let me see what my little thing is.
Mhm.
If that doesn't pass, I can use my reaction to re-roll it.
Yeah, I don't think a 17 is quite good enough, but yeah.
Okay, so now I'm gonna re-roll it to see. So from my understanding, I think if this is worse, I still have to take this one because it's a re-roll.
I think that's what that means, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
right.
16. That's not really
Sad day.
any different. Let me make sure I don't have any other special things that I can add to it. I don't think I do, but let me just.
Do you have get anything for being a blood sister?
No, I don't think so.
I don't get jack for being a blood sister. I'm doing it for the fun.
For the kicks and giggles.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that I'd like be able to add to that. No.
Yep, all good. She just smiles. She says, "There's a time and place for everything.
Okay.
If this goes well, Anna, then I will gladly tell you their names."
Well, it's just hard for me to want to agree to give you something that I know you're going to use against your sisters when I don't know, like for me, I have such a special bond with my sisters that like, but I don't think we have the same kind of thing as you guys of like sisters fighting. And I just don't know who your sisters are. So, like, what if you think they're bad, but I think they're not so bad? And then I give you this weapon to help beat them. So, like, that's my kind
I'll
of.
give you something, Anna. We form
Okay.
an axis. I am the Lady of Pain. My sisters are the Lady of Pleasure and the Lady of Pride. If you can decipher their names on your own, then your freedom will have earned you something very valuable. But for my own reasons, I prefer to keep their more clear identities a secret. For now, you understand. Information is power, and I don't give it up to anyone.
Okay. Can I like roll a history check? I don't think there's any way I would know who these people are, but
You could
like-
make a religion check.
Oh, better. Okay. That's a +8 instead of a +3. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was bad.
12.
That was really bad.
I don't
Yeah,
know who these people are.
You feel like you've heard the name the Lady of Pleasure at some point, but that's the only thing. It seems slightly familiar, but that's all you get.
Okay. I mean, like, just from their names, there's nothing like that I'm kind of
Yeah,
like,
it's not like she's like secretly like a child of Mikhail and
Yeah, she's not
Arya,
saying
you know?
Maya. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like, it's like nothing that
I
from
want to
my
kill the
understanding,
gods.
like,
I have a guess who the Lady of Pride is.
Yeah.
It's Lavinia.
Oh no, secretly the
God.
whole
No,
time.
no.
That's her
it's
big family
Abner.
secret.
Oh, yeah.
Abner.
I guess I would just kind of be like, I know you just told me you don't give information to people because it's power, but like, why are you guys fighting? If the answer is like you can't tell me, like, I get it.
It was a very sour game of rock, paper, scissors, okay?
I'm just trying to fully understand the
Pain, pleasure,
situation.
pride. Pain, pleasure, pride.
Just trying to understand the situation I'm getting myself into before I agree to anything. I'm trying to read all the fine print.
She says, let's just say that, she says, while it's never polite to ask a woman's age, let's just say that we're very old and have had years and years to build up grudges. Little things here and there that turn into bigger things, and then eventually we're waging wars over the cosmos.
Okay.
Are these three the Fates?
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna make it a quick note.
Stop it. So I kind of just like, okay, so far everything seems very amenable to me, and I feel like we could have a mutually beneficial partnership in this venture, with you being, like the 75% partner and me being like the 25% partner, but like still a partnership ish. Um uh
I already knew that this would
weapon,
be I already knew this would be a beneficial arrangement for both of us. I was just hoping you would trust me a little more.
I'm sorry, it's kind of been a wacky last week and a half that I've kind of gone through a lot.
I don't think someone said the word wacky in my presence for 157 years.
Um
Sorry, I just
that
remember.
makes me kind of sad for you. You should be
I
having
remember
more people
weird
who say
details like
wacky.
that.
I remember wacky details like that.
So I say it all the time, but
Okay, so this weapon that I would be getting for you,
Mhm.
by giving it to you, like, does it have special properties that would help the Isle of Dread that I would be, like, taking it away?
I haven't prepped this yet. So I'm trying to decide if that's true, if she even knows, if she would even tell you
Yeah.
if she did know. So we'll make it safer and just say, you know what? I think she'll say, not that I'm aware
Sorry, you didn't
of.
expect me to ask 50 questions, only
No, you're good.
20.
I think she says, not that I'm aware of, and I'm going to have her roll to lie to you. You got a 32.
I can beat that.
I know you can.
Here's a plus 20 to
Ugh.
deception.
I only got a freaking 28.
Do you still have luck things or whatever you can spend?
I know they probably wouldn't have given me any.
Oh, yeah. What were you using before? What did you do the reroll on?
I'm allowed to, because of my draconic disciple, if I fail an intimidation or persuasion check,
I see.
I can re-roll.
Cool.
Dang.
Yeah, so she is she's an enigma.
Okay. Am I allowed to tell my friends about this? Because they're probably going to be like, if I try and take this weapon, they might be asking me questions, so I need to know what I'm allowed to tell them.
Didn't Vincent mention to you guys a weapon?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is like we know that there's this weapon. So if I just try and like take this weapon and disappear with it, it's gonna kind of seem a little weird.
So she says, I'm giving you the freedom to decide best, what you think might be best in a situation, but let's put it this way. My servants will be the one taking the weapon. You only have to ensure that it gets into their hands.
Oh, interesting. Like your servants as in like Ronan or Damien or
Yeah.
Henry, is that the third
Yeah.
guy?
She nods, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. But I have the freedom to do what I would like to do for the mission.
I trust your judgment.
Uh,
I have a feeling, though, that your friends might not quite understand the stakes here, or agree with you on that.
I mean, I don't really understand the stakes here,
Exactly.
so I'm guessing they wouldn't. I think you're right.
Yup.
I was just kind of like, okay. I think that all sounds okay to me. I will get back to you for what I would want in return.
Of course.
How do if I just, can you hear me if I just like talk out loud? How does this work? I don't understand these things.
I think she,
I mean, she heard them earlier.
You guys got a little statuette of, or something, right? From the weird tribe. There was like a Lady of Pain.
I have a Lady of Pain medallion.
You have it in your character sheet right now?
Yeah.
Then yeah, she's been hearing you through that the whole time. That actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah, of course I have it in my character inventory. What else would I be doing with it?
Yep.
Who else would have taken
So
it?
does she just like point to that, I guess?
I don't think she will tip her hand on that. I think
she'll just say like,
she'll just say, I'll know.
Hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Do we shake hands?
I think she says, Anna.
Do we do a little?
She just kind of ignores your inquiry and just goes into something else and says, Anna, being a blood sister is about freedom. There are some who choose to use that freedom differently than others. And the blood sisters have sometimes taken it in a direction that I wouldn't do myself. But to be a blood sister is to be free. Yes, there are bonds that tie you to them, but with me as your patron, to be a true blood sister means you choose your own path. I know that you are struggling right now with whether or not to trust me, the sisters, all of it. And I don't blame you for that. There are things that we do that are unsavory. But I hope you trust that I'm sincere in saying I do it because I believe it's right. And the sisters do it because they believe it's right. And at the end of the day, all of us only have our own choices to make. And who are we to judge the choices of others? We must trust our own hearts, our own paths, and be confident with the steps that we take.
I mean, I was kind of with you almost the entire time until kind of the end. I'm also kind of a part of this big, sisterhood, brotherhood thing that does judge people based on their choices.
It's kind of the whole thing.
So, like, I was kind of really with you, but this also kind of goes up against what was drilled into my head for the past over 20 years. So there's a little bit of conflict happening there. And I'm sure you're aware of that, but I just wanted to be open with you, letting you know that that's where the dissonance comes in.
No choice is worth it unless there is conflict. If it was easy, then is it really a choice?
I mean, yeah, I think so. Was that a trick question? I feel like it's still a choice.
Yeah, she I think she says, I I think in her mind she's thinking, yeah, that sounded better than it sounded better in my head than it did out loud. But she's not gonna let you know that, right? So instead she says, the choices that have value are the ones that are difficult.
Okay, that I can get behind. Okay, so we're not gonna shake on it because it's the whole freedom thing, so I'm allowed to do whatever I want, but you are gonna trust me and I'm gonna trust you in this agreement, but we're not gonna shake on it.
I don't understand how shaking hands will do anything
It's
more
just
than
kind of
having
like
a verbal agreement.
formality. Yeah, it's just kind of like a formality thing that I'm used to from
She holds out her
my-
hand.
Okay, thank you.
And as you shake her hand, you feel like the pinprick of 1,000 needles go like run down your hand.
Oh, that was weird.
And when she releases, she says, pain is the path we have chosen. Pain will set us free. Oh, give me a second. I need to finish a rhyme here. Pain is the path we have chosen. Pain will set us free. And then she says, glory is the door that is open.
Put it in the oven for baby and me.
I was gonna go now. Excuse me, I have to pee.
Pain is the path we have chosen. Pain will set us free. Glory is the door that is open. Glory is what we will be.
I'm just kind of like, whew, okay. I don't really know how to leave here. I think that's just the end of my sentence.
Do you real quick? Do you remember the phrase that the blood sister told
May
you?
the
that one
lady
time?
of pain keep your knives sharp and your words sweet. Of course I do. Of course I do, Caleb. Before, as I was leaving, I would say, like, I guess keep my knives sharp and my words sweet. Thank you.
Menard sharp.
My knives. I said my knives.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
don't
I
want those
heard.
sharp, Caleb. You don't want those to be sharp. That would hurt.
Oh my goodness. She says, you say that, you say,
I would just be like, I don't really know how to leave, but that would be kind of like my parting words would be like, may you keep my knives sharp and my words sweet.
yeah. And she says, I shall. The door is open to you, child. And there's a door that is like past her, toward like like leading into a room deeper into whatever this tower is, still on the same floor as you, but it opens and she just like gestures towards it.
Okay, bye. Go to the door.
Sorry. Yeah. Yep. So you go ahead and go through it and we cut there. We should wrap up soon here, but I want to make sure everybody gets in what they want to do. Anything else that needs to happen in Far Shore before we do the funeral?
I have a thing.
Now that Vren can't do pranks.
Yeah, that really is bad because that's how I was planning on upping my affiliation with the collectors.
All right, I didn't mean to ruin that for you.
It's fine.
No, we should ruin it for Seth. It's good.
My only thing is probably after the funeral.
Yeah, I was just gonna say when Takui goes off to herself, like she's been trying to like hold it in, like her grief, like in front of everybody for like ever, but then like she just like goes to the beach and she just like sobs. And like that's all we see because she's been pretty like,
Trying to keep it
not
together.
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
and I think we just see the funeral then. Right? We just get a homily from Vincent. We see, I think it's it's a Christian funeral, so they'd probably just have a little memorial, like just a pile of stones for each of them, sort of a thing in the graveyard, with a little cross above it or behind it, and Vincent just gives a homily, basically saying, they're brave. They died defending us from evil. Pray that their souls find their way to the Christ, and that they will be raised at the last day. And unless anyone has anything they want to add to that, that's what we just see.
There's probably one thing that Vern would have afterwards, but it'd be after the funeral.
Sure. Well, let's do Audrin's first then. Audrin, you had a thing.
Yes. So this is Audrin going to the chapel by himself after everybody else is gone.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like everybody leaves and you just stay, right?
Yeah. So was the service in the chapel?
Well, it was like next to the chapel.
Okay.
Actually, wait, where's the graveyard? Actually, it's number 6. Okay, it's outside of town. Yeah. Okay, so you make your way to the chapel then afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. So Audrin goes into the chapel and he just kind of goes off to a corner pew and Audrin starts to pray.
Okay.
And I have the prayer written out.
Nice.
Okay. I don't understand. Everyone around me is either kidnapped or dies. Juno, Deli, the neighborhood watch, everyone in the depths. I just need to know. Am I doing something wrong? If I am, can you show me what? And if not, if doing what's right only gets the people I care about killed and kidnapped, is doing what's right even worth it? I don't want to abandon my friends, and I want to do what's right. I want to protect people. I want to stop all of the madness. But it seems like no matter how hard I try or what I do, I'm never strong enough, or quick enough, or clever enough. There's always someone stronger, quicker, or more clever. If I'm still doing what I should be doing, if I'm still on the right path, please, help me to protect those who need me. Help me to protect my comrades, my friends, and please, help me to save Deli.
I think we get a shot of Deli. She is in a prison somewhere. It's unclear where, we don't have any context for where, but it's inside kind of stuffy, dark, damp basement somewhere. And what is Deli doing, Seth?
I mean, she's probably just like, as we know, her last words to Madoc before she got locked away were "kill me." Mm-hmm. So she's probably just sitting there, because is she like, how is she locked up? Like, I imagine her like chained up, like.
I think maybe chained up, muzzled, probably. Muzzled is probably the biggest thing because you can't eat anything. You're not allowed to eat anything.
because I was imagining her like, like how like people are chained up, but like their hands are like up there, their legs are like grappled, so they're essentially in midair, so they can't get to anything.
Yeah.
I imagine she just sitting there, just wishing she was dead. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else can she do? Feeling like a failure. She's failed once again.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering if what happened. Oh, what was her name? Oh, give me a second. Wondering whatever happened to her one friend that she tried to find. I remember what she scryed on her and couldn't find her, so she's probably wondering whatever happened to her. She never ran into her one friend, did she?
Mm-hmm.
The one guy that was locked up in here as well?
Yeah.
Never ran into him? Okay.
Nope.
She's probably just sinking into a deep depression.
Mm-hmm. No, we just see her slumped then in her chains. But we cut back to Audrin, and I don't think you get like a voice in your head or anything
I didn't
like
imagine
that.
Audra would do
Yeah,
anything.
right. Like I think, like most real life, you have to trust that it got heard and there is an answer, even if you don't get something vocal, right? Verbal. And we just kind of see you kneel there. And then Seth, you had something.
Yeah, it was probably what happens is uh maybe Vren notices that Audrun waits, and he kind of waits for him outside the chapel for a little bit.
Oh, you're waiting for
Just because
Audrun?
Well, yeah, because
Yeah, okay.
Because like
Audrun, how long
in
do you
charge.
spend in there, Audrun? Like even after you prayed the prayer?
Probably like a half hour. Honestly, he's probably just taking his time.
Maybe
to, like,
maybe he
process.
would actually, in this case, maybe he would actually ask this to a Takewee as they're leaving, because he's still under different assumptions. So Vren would, I almost said Delhi. You got me confused now, Caleb. Vren would turn to a Takewee as they're filing out of the chapel and say, "Oh, I guess it's off to save Deltharia now."
Real quick, you're leaving the graveyard outside of town, not the chapel.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
We're leaving the area, and she's, well, I guess it's off to save Deltharia now.
And she like quirks her head.
That's what's happening next, isn't it?
No. I wish more than anything that's where we were going next. But no, friend, that's not where we're going.
What is happening next? He has a sense of dread, like, wait, I want this too. She wants this. Why aren't we going there then?
You can ask Madoc that question.
I think that's a good place to cut it then.
Sure, yeah. I mean, if Takewee doesn't want to tell him, then yeah, I think we can
I mean, it's more like out of a place of almost bitterness, because she's like, the Pantheon isn't letting her go save Delhi right now. She understands why, but she's still like frustrated about it, and so she's like, go ask Madoc why we're not saving Delhi right away. But I mean, if he presses it, like she'll say it. It's just like,
I mean,
you can just tell
he
that
won't
it's
press.
like a little tense.
He won't press. He's like, he's sitting there going like, what the frick, Madoc? I thought this was like a quick thing you needed me to do. He's just now understanding, because here's the part of the thing. Part of the reason he didn't want to do anything with the girls, like, he's like, no, just not bother. We're gonna be out of here really quick. Let's just go. Let's go. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna be here longer than I thought, aren't I? Which I, as a player, knew already, but Vren didn't know that yet.
We hear Madoc in the distance say, Vren, you didn't realize you were joining an adventure path. There's a whole campaign here. There you go.
Madoc is the Deadpool of the Pantheon.
If anyone is,
Kinda.
It's Madoc. Yeah, for sure. But I'm fine to cut the episode there if we want to. It's a good line to end on, right? Like, ask Madoc why we're not going to save Delhi next, and then we get a shot of the distant plateau, and maybe we see like a fire burning on it from a small speck of a light from far away, and who knows what is burning.
The thing is, though, unlike Delhi, I don't have a way to talk to Madoc as well.
Yeah. But you'll find out easy enough, right? Like, eventually you'll figure it out. But
all
right, cool. There you go. That's our episode of Terra Invicta. Next time we can start the trek to the Central Plateau, the ancient city of Urathura, to fight some demons. That'll be great. But yeah,
I would just get a kick out of this if the Jade Ravens were like, "Hey, we're coming with you."
The Jade Ravens aren't coming with you, but Benedict can come with you.
Git is coming,
and then Git is coming, and then he has some people that you're going to meet up with. And it sounds like 3 other random agents of the Lady of Pain are going to show up too at some point. So, yeah, it'll be great. Real quick though, I think we do actually have to get one more scene. I just realized Vren, you're walking away from that conversation with Takui, heading back to, Vanderboren Manor, maybe to go to sleep.
No.
And you just hear a sound coming from nearby. Again, it's dark, so it's hard to tell at first, but you just hear and it's pretty near the graveyard, right? This is you haven't left very far. You're still kind of like at the edge of the city, and you just hear someone urinating in a bush, or like against the side of a building or something.
Avner.
I look over. Who is it?
Yeah, it's like some noble fop. Yeah.
Is it Avner?
Yeah, it is Avner, but obviously Vren doesn't know that.
Well, I look around. Is anyone around? Is everyone else gone?
I think everyone else is gone, yeah.
Oh, wait. Do I have? Oh, I don't have. I'm looking for a way. I'm looking for a way to redirect the water, and I don't have one.
I think you also hear him muttering something like, "Oh my goodness, that funeral was so long." It's like, we get it. They're dead.
Oh, I hate this guy. Bryn immediately hates this guy. I'm looking through my spells and seeing if I have a way, something I can do to him. Wait. Oh, range of 10 feet. I think I'll walk up behind him, subtle spell on the back of him, and point to his backside and say, "I think you missed a spot." Because one thing I can do is I can where is it?
I have no idea what he's about to do here.
You can clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic feet. I'm going to make it look like he soiled his pants. So he pooped himself.
Sure.
Like, excuse me, friend?
He like almost like urinates on himself, and he's like trying to pull up his pants. He's like, "Who are you?"
I was just going to let you know, I think you made a bit of a mess. On your backside.
And then I assume Vren, you take some psychic damage or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Well, you just did a prank, and Takui told you not to do a prank.
Said not to do a prank in the village.
Was there specified actually?
Yes.
Yes. It really depends. Okay, I think I did describe it being basically right outside of town. I think it counts.
Mm-hmm.
I think it counts.
That I get away with it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Because I was like,
Takui's words were no pranks in the village, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard that and I'm like, the loophole. I'm gonna keep that one in mind.
Wait, I'm looking to see if any of my spells can I have mending, but no, I want something essentially make him rip his pants.
Yeah, so Fred, you do this, right? Like you soil his pants, and you realize maybe you're waiting for it. Maybe you're like, you did it out of habit, and then you're like, oh no. Wait a second. I'm 5 paces away from the town gate. Right?
Oh, wait. I'm looking through my spells. I wasn't expecting to be able to do this. Give me a second.
But yeah, Abner's just like, oh, what happened? I didn't.
I can understand you, creatures. While his, I don't know, his pants are, he pulled up his pants already, so I can't tell him to run through town. Okay, no, I think I'm going to try this. I'm going to try casting suggestion on him. Subtle spell, say,
okay.
I wouldn't wear those the rest of the day if I were you. You'd look like a fool if you did. To make him go into town without his pants.
Take out his pants immediately.
Yes, I would try. Okay. I would subtle spell cast suggestion. So spell save DC.
I somehow knew this was going to end in nudity, but here we go.
Wisdom DC of 20. And I'm going to silvery barbs it if he makes it.
Critical failure.
Like my friend, I would not wear those in town if I were you. You'll make a fool of yourself.
Shoves down his pants, throws them in a bush, and then goes running towards the manor where he came from.
And he just thinks to himself, "Oh, this is going to be fun."
Yeah, so Anna, Takui, Audrin, you all just hear Abner screaming in the distance. He's like crying all the way back to the manor.
And while he's running away,
just, sighs.
And as he's running away, I make it so he looks like he's soiled his underwear. So it looks like it's all the way through.
I say to the others, should I go check on it to make sure there's not something attacking?
Takui just shakes her head. No, I know exactly what it is.
Not today.
And there you go. That's where we end our episode of Terra Invicta. Yes, Seth?
I was going to say, I didn't break the contract.
It's true. I was happy to offer you that loophole so you could at least get a harmless.
I was
prank
very
on
happy for
Abner.
it.
Yep.
I will probably pay for it in a different way. But
yeah.
I got to have at least one prank on Abner this entire campaign.
True. All right, that's been Terra Invicta. We'll go ahead and end here and do a quick after show, talk about the session. Thanks for playing, everybody. We are out.